Good morning. Good morning. And it is a really lovely morning here today. And I hope it is with you wherever you are. And I know that I've got some people that are watching today that are not feeling 100%. So I'm sending special vibes to those people. Lovely to see you all joining me. Now, Houston, we have a problem. And the problem is that my website is working from your point of view, but it isn't from mine. And unfortunately, I cannot load any new things on there at the moment. It keeps telling me to refresh. Well, I've refreshed it 1,000 times and it doesn't want to know at the moment. So subsequently, a lot of you will already have some of the items at very least that I'm going to show you today, but I will put a message up on the Facebook group page of Maximum Crafts later on, as soon as I get them loaded and ready to go, because I'm going to work with this little beauty, which is one of the Designer Boutique stamps. And if you recall, if you were with me on Sunday, or even Saturday for that matter, because on Saturday I did a workshop and on Sunday I showed you some of the products that we were using. And this is a similar, well, in the same group, excuse me, and this one's called No Bunny But You. And as most of you probably know that are regular viewers, I am into my guinea pigs in particularly, but also bunnies as well. So I thought this one would make quite a nice, potentially rather, an Easter card even. I thought it was quite nice, but I'm going to do it in a slightly different way. And you might spy over here that I've got some of the Koi colouring brush pens. Now we have had these before. And so many of you will have the collection that I'm going to predominantly be using here today. They are a dye-based ink, so they work with water. So you can colour with them by putting them onto a colouring, like an acrylic block type of thing, and adding water to them. So you can colour like that, or you can colour straight on, which is what I'm going to do. So I have got the Galaxy set, which is sort of like this pinky purpley set here. And then I'm also using some from the green, I can't think what it's called, Paradise maybe, or something like that, set, the greeny set. And then I've also got a few sneaky ones in, which you wouldn't necessarily need, but I've used those as well. Steel blue and lilac. So those are the pens that I'm going to be using in a little while. My stamp I've already got. I was going to say him, but I think it's a her, don't you? Positioned in there. And I am going to use some craft card to stamp on today because I thought we would do a bit different. It's going to be a 5x7 card when it's finished. So without further ado, let us begin. I'm going to pop these to one side for the moment. Should I not? I found something to put them in, but I have not got something to put them in, so I'm just going to pop them there to one side for the moment so that they're on the side there. So now I need to stamp my little beauty twice. Okay, so I'm first of all going to pop my card in there, keep that into place. Now I'm going to be trimming this down, so it doesn't matter where he is in the center, but he's going to be all right there. So I'm going to first of all stamp him in VersaFine. So VersaFine Onyx Black or Memento Onyx Tuxedo Black, any of those will be fine. So I'm going to stamp him up, her, whatever, I don't know. All my animals are boys, so I get so used to, I've got 3 boys myself and the staff, so it's all boys here. So I get used to calling them like that. Now, I want it a bit stronger, and in particular, I'm working on the bunny in the middle on this particular one with the black. So I just want to make sure that I've got a good old image coming out there. Hold on, I just want that eye. That's better. That's better. So I'm going to pop that to one side because we don't need that one at the moment. Now, with my piece of rough paper here, I'm just going to stamp this down, which will just sort of clean this off a little bit because I don't want to particularly transfer the inks. So let's just take the worst off. So that's just got him back to normal. Okay, so I'm then going to take in my second piece of craft card. And this time I'm going to use my anti-static bag all over because I want to use my Versamark this time. So this one was the Versafine, this one is the Versamark, and this is the Watermark stamp pad or sticky pad, I'd call it. So this time I'm going to go all over. Now, although it probably will pick up a little bit of the black already, I'm okay with that because that might help me see where it's gone and make sure that I've got all of it. So just trying to see, I don't know what I've done. I think I've dropped it and it's fallen behind my desk. The pusher downer. No, I don't know what we call it. So you can see I still want to do a little bit more where his eyes are. So let's just, although actually it's not vitally important, come to think of it. But nevertheless, so now you could do it the other way, but it doesn't, I wanted you to be able to see where it went. So that's why I did it that way around so that you can see. But this should be a clear image, really. Squash your head. That's better. Now, so this is the sticky ink pad. So this I'm going to put some embossing onto. Just grab my piece from here. And I'm going to use some white detailed embossing powder. Okay, so white on craft card goes really, really well, I think. Whoop. Right, okay. So let's get the worst of that off. You can see now that even though it was black underneath, I haven't caught that properly, but it doesn't show anymore anyway. Okay, so we're going to get the heat gun out. I'm just going to pop this back into my pot, get the heat gun out. And just set that embossing powder, melt it and set it. Because by setting that, it really gives, by embossing it and setting it, it gives an easy way to be able to actually put these inks on that I'm going to, because it gives a resist. So I'm just going to do that for you. Okay. What have I done to my right arm? What? Well, my thumb. Hold on. Let's just do this. You can see that I'm being asked what I've done. So just warming that up a bit. Going to turn it over just to warm the back of it up. I don't want to put the embossing, the heat gun onto it for too long. So as you can see, it quickly changes, and I'm just moving it over as it changes. And it gives a really nice area to work on. Always a nice way to use stamps by doing it onto craft cards and embossing. And I thought doing it in the white would make it a bit different. My hand looks bruised. I have cut my finger, but no, it's not bruised. It does look a bit funny, doesn't it? Well, it possibly is bruised in all honesty, but yeah, come to think of it, it is. Do you know what I did? What I did, you can see that I've got it down there. I was actually, can you believe it? I was actually trying to simply get some dies out of one of the plastic shells, you know, that they come in, some of the dies. And there was a die that had fallen off of the packaging and fallen right down into the actual shell, and I couldn't get it. And as I went to get it, I literally pulled that back and gashed it all in here and gashed onto there as well. So there you are. Ridiculous, but easily done. So let us get in. But thank you for your concern. So now I'm going to bring in, first of all, my lovely galaxy colours, as these are called. Okay. So I'm just going to take some of the random colours and I'm going to simply colour my flowers in. So this is on straight onto craft card. If you know craft card, if you've worked with craft card, it is a rough surface. So you're not going to be able to blend these as well as you might do if you were working on more smoother cardstock. Okay, but I think it still gives a good effect, and I think that that really pops with the white, doesn't it? So oh no, maybe just the light then. No, I'm not, I'm all right apart from being attacked by a bit of plastic. So yeah, all of these things, I do apologize. I've got problems with the website and I can't do anything about it at the moment. So I will get them on, hopefully very soon. But I will put a notice on to the Maximum Craft site and then you'll be able to see. So I'm just going to go round and try and pick out similar types of flowers. Okay, and you can see that I'm not having to be careful. I have to say that's a lot to do with these pens. You wouldn't do such a good job with this with alcohol marker pens onto craft card, because the craft card would soak and pull the alcohol inks through, and so you might not get a very good response at all from that. But these brush pens are just really ideal for this sort of thing. I'm not sure if you can see, but I'm not having to be mighty careful because the embossed areas give a resist, so that the marker pen, sorry, not marker pen, the brush pen just goes over the top of it. So if I'm going over the lines, it kind of resists that and lets me continue to do so. And again, if I didn't have markers, if I had the alcohol markers, it wouldn't be quite such a good effect. So just doing these colours and then I'll change colour. So I'm just trying to pick out the same sort of flower that we've got each time and just colour that in. Okay, so then I'm going to go for a slightly different colour, and these ones, it won't show hugely different, but it will be a little bit. And again, you're going onto a brown background here, of course, so don't forget that that will show up or possibly change the colours that you've got. Okay. Oh, just can hear the post coming. I thought, oh, you know what it'll be. They'll come and disturb me, and I forgot about the postman. So as you can see, I'm going over in just lines. I'm not having to be too careful because where I'm hitting the actual pattern of the stamp, it's just resisting it, which is brilliant. So I'm going to go with those. Then I'm going to take my other pink. Not quite sure if I'd already used that pink actually. Let's see. No, a slightly lighter pink. But obviously they're all under that sort of same colouring, that these are the purples, or galaxy as they call them. Okay. I did use them a couple of years ago now, so you may well have had them from them. So there they are. I don't know if you can hear them. It's because they're going straight onto the craft card that they're making a noise like that. So have I coloured all of the flowers in? Yeah. So then I'm going to take my 2 greens and I'm going to go over with the leaves. So again, I'm just simply drawing in there with the leaves and working my way round. Now we've got 2 sorts of leaves here. So we've got this sort here, which there's more to it. And then we've got just those little ones that I was doing, so they're just a little tiny bit there. So more of the leaf here. I am trying to be fairly quick for you, but I do find colouring is rather therapeutic myself. So I would take a little bit more time if I was not doing it like this. But you can see that as I'm not, because of the resist that the embossed powder effect has given me, I'm not having to be overly careful. Let me just check if I've got all of that. Oh, no, missed one down here. And just a little bit on these. Being a bit careful on here, on the actual stems of those. Yeah, so then I'm going to go in with my darker green, but really only on these ones. And I'm just going to go in from the center of these so that I've just got a darker colour just from that centerpiece, from where the center of the leaf is, and just pulling them out so that I'm just giving a slightly different colour there. And as I said, because I'm on craft card, because I've not got a smooth card, it will stay on the top. It won't blend in like the alcohol markers would be doing on a soft card. Okay, that just gives a slightly different colour. And then I've just got my dragonflies up here that I just want to colour them in. So I'm going along the same lines. I'm using my Galaxy colour range, which is the purples and pinky colours. I'm just going in there. And then when it comes down to the middle bit, I can draw a straight line. Don't know if you could see that. I'm just drawing a straight line onto it, but it is only really catching where the embossing powder is not. Okay, so there's my little. Now that little bunny, I don't know about you, but that little bunny looks a little bit as if he's been caught in the headlights. And so I'm going to bring this little bunny back over. And this little one, I'm going to chop him about. So having made a beautiful thing like that, I'm going to chop it all up. And I'm just going to, because I don't want to have to colour him in. I don't mind putting a little bit of something different in, but I don't want to have to colour him in and risk making a mess. So I'm going to fairly fussily cut him out, but I'm not going to be cutting all the whiskers out. But I will cut out these bits here. And I just think that he's already sort of coloured in then, isn't he? He's brown. He's that little wild rabbit. We used to have what do you call them? Dwarf rabbits. I couldn't think what the name was. Dwarf rabbits. So yeah. Now I have at this moment in time given him a proper ear because I'm not quite sure whether I want to cut his ear about or not. Can you see there where the flower actually comes in his ear? I'm not 100% sure about that one. So we shall see. Now I'm going to give him, no, I'm not going to give him whiskers, am I? Oh, not whiskers, sorry. I will try to be very fussy cutting and cut out his little eyebrows, her eyebrows, because they're a bit special. I don't really want to cut them. Oh gosh. I think it probably pays to have cut them, doesn't it? Because they do look rather special. But are we going to cut the whiskers? Oh, nearly cut it off then. I'm going to attempt to cut the whiskers. Uh-oh. I wasn't going to, but I'm going to attempt it. Let me cut them like that first. You've got to be very quiet. I hope you're being very quiet and watching. I can't even look to see what you're saying at the moment because it's too crucial. I'm just going to go through these. I will have a look in a second in case you're asking any questions. But don't forget, if you have just joined us, the website is not working properly today. Only, well, in terms of I can't load anything. So if you fancy having this little bunny in your life, or you need any of the pens, or you need anything, you just have to be a little bit patient today, because I don't know what I did to it. I don't think I did anything, and I have reloaded and rebooted and all the sort of things that I would tell anyone else to do. So yeah. Do you like fussy cutting? I am being very fussy because when I cut this out earlier, I didn't bother to cut out the whiskers, and you know what, it looked fab anyway. But actually, I think I've probably, yeah, I think that's better for having cut them out, don't you? Can you see that? Yeah, I think it is. Right, now let's clear the decks of this. Hold on. Clear the decks of these little bits. And I'm going to pop that there first because I just want to see if that flower looks right. I'm not quite sure whether I need to sort of, what do you think? Do I need to cut that ear so that he's, I could put false eyelashes on him. Do you think that I need to cut out round those bits there? If you could inform me as to whether you think I do, I will I'm just gonna colour him in. So I'm not going to put very much. I'm just going to go onto his ears, the inner part of his ears, and just put a little bit of pink, a very pale pink, like that. And then I'm going to give him a little pink nose because he needs a little pink nose, I think, don't you? I'll have to layer that up a bit because otherwise it won't show. Just layer it up there. So all I'm doing when I say layer, I'm just going over that again so that it's a little bit darker. I don't know if it will come through actually. No. But I just want to layer that up. Oh, look at him. Her. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Oh, yeah, that would be a good idea. That would be a good idea. Gosh, can we do such a thing as that, though? That would be a good idea. So the good idea was to get myself a hobby knife and get myself a proper board that will not give. Oh, I can't see it for looking. So let me do that on back of here to just cut around the ear there. Maybe. And then possibly poke his ear underneath it. Should have a firm thing underneath, but I haven't. Might be a bit ambitious to do this, you know. So that, oh, I'm going to give him a little bit of a twist. No, can't get that down there enough. Wait a minute. I just need to cut that a bit more, don't I? And that one a bit more there. There we are. Put it in front of his ear. Thank you, whoever that was. I think it was Jeanette, wasn't it? Yeah, Jeanette. Mind you, I'm not even sure if that's what you meant to do, but yeah, I think that works out quite nicely, doesn't it? So let me first of all trim this bit down here. And then we just make him into our card. So in order to do that, I'm just going to trim. I'm not going to sort of say what measurements it's going to be because I need to just check. Just give it a border, but I need to give it a straight border because that might help considerably. That's better. And you could, of course, stamp it onto a already predetermined size and do it like that, but hey, we don't do it like that. And so this piece measures just under or just over 4 inches by 5 3/4. So I'm going to grab myself a piece of amethyst card because I thought that went really well, and I'm just going to go a little bit bigger like that. And just check what that was in centimeters. So 14.5. So I'm going to go by 15. And pop that out of the way. As I said, you could have put that onto something and measured it first if you wished, but that will be nice for me. So I'm now going to stick that straight down onto my card here, and then make sure I don't stick that bit there where I wanted to poke the flower up. And actually, before I do, I want to particularly poke that up so that will sit up. Pop that onto my backing. Then I'm going to pop my little bunny. And I'm just moulding his ears because I can, you know, just because I can. Pop a little bit of, what should we pop? Pop a little bit of foam just to make life a little bit easier onto the back of him. Oh, don't want black foam, do I? No, indeed, I do not want black foam. So I'm just going to pop a 3mm piece down the bottom of the back of him there. And pop that into the center, tucking him under there first, but then popping that over. And I'm just going to sort of slightly offset it so that I can see the whiskers behind there. And I just think that I did try and colour the rabbit in, but I didn't like it as much. So hence why it's not been coloured in. Now, let me find my card blank, she says. Here it is. This is my 5x7 card blank. I'm going to pop that up on top of there. And then I've already cut out and mounted one of these little just word strips. I'm just going to pop that down there. So it's a fairly simple, just fun card, and I'm showing you a different way of stamping, and I really love it onto the craft card. I think that looks nice. So I'm just going to press that down on there. So don't forget that if you're using your alcohol markers for something like this, it doesn't work so well onto craft card, not unless you've got the craft card which has got a finish to it, which some have, but not so many. So let me just recap. Just put all the lids back on and everything. So recap what I used for you, and hopefully they will be on the website later on, very shortly. I shall have another go when I come off here. So I have used the beautiful No Bunny But You Designer Boutique stamp set. So you can see that's not the same size as there. So it comes out at about a 10 by 15. So that's that. I've coloured it. Well, first of all, I've inked it and used embossing powder, which is the white embossing powder, to give this white outline there. And I also stamped it in black as well, so that I could just cut that out. I've used my Koi colouring brush pens, so not alcohol markers, because they would soak into the background too much. Okay, so Koi colouring brush pens, water-based pens. The mauve set is called Galaxy, and then there's the green set, which I think is called Paradise, and then there was some of the other colours there as well, just to add, but you don't particularly need them, but I just think that looks quite nice. I didn't use the blue in the end. Was going to use the blue for his eyes, but I think actually it's preferable not to. I've used the background card is the Amethyst Satin card from the Crafts 2 Satin and Mirror card collection, and then very carefully cut that out. I think that looks better having cut it out, but it wouldn't amiss because you have actually still got them on the background there. So, and yeah, thanks to Jeanette to suggest that we did that with his ear. I think that's probably the best way to do that. He is a little cutie, isn't he? She is, it is, whatever. Yeah, I really like that. So thank you very much for joining me today. I do apologise for the website not being up and running, but it was just one of those things. And yeah, annoying to say the least, but I will endeavour to get it going, and I will pop onto the onto the Facebook page. Oh God, you know what it's like when you're reading what people say and you actually use those words. It's nothing to do with what you're talking about at all. That's just what I did. So yeah, Facebook page, hopefully I will tell you when it's up and running. I'm really looking forward to Saturday. We've got John's workshop, first one for this year, which is fantastic. Looking forward to all the folks. And just in case you folks are watching that are going to be joining me and John, I'll be sending out the links of that in the next day or so that you will be all ready to go. Okay, so take care, everyone. Have a really good day. Thank you so much for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you again either on Saturday at the workshop, or if not, I shall be back on Sunday at 11 o'clock, same place, same time, and bring you another little crafty project. Okay then, take care everyone. Thank you. Bye.